DeMarcus Rogers of Grind Nation Promotions. There is pro live boxing at the Convention Center in Chattanooga coming up this week. So we're going to be talking to him as well. We're going to jump right into it, though. This is Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio, Clutch with Keon Rose. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can check us out at our website, hotnewstalkradio.com, where you can stream all of our programming live and local 24/7, 365. And make sure to check us out on our Facebook page as well. You can get to all of those links from the website. And we can stream everything on the website. Also, make sure to check out YouTube, where you can catch archived footage of all of our local programming, and check us out in the TuneIn Radio app. Again, that's the TuneIn Radio app, absolutely free in your favorite app store on your mobile device. Simply search Hot News Talk Radio in the app, give us a favorite and press play, and you'll have Hot News Talk Radio everywhere you go. So I'd like to talk about Draymond Green some more. Draymond Green is a guy that is a radio host gift. What I imagine Dennis Rodman was in the 90s. In fact, I'm pretty sure Draymond Green is the closest thing we have to Dennis Rodman, albeit he does it differently, right? Like, Dennis Rodman was about the attention, so he did things like marry himself publicly. He did things, he still does things like go to North Korea and hang out with a dictator, Kim Jong-un. He still does those things, right? Dennis Rodman, about the attention. Draymond Green is different. Draymond Green's crazy because Draymond Green is crazy. That's it. Like, this has been a very long summer for Draymond Green. Okay, let's put it this way. Running a sports show is hard because every day, interesting things don't happen in sports. Not every single day. Some days, you just got to come up with stuff because it's just, you're just finding things. If I had a show based entirely around the existence of Draymond Green, I think that would be a great show. I think that would be an easy show to do because Draymond Green never stops being Draymond Green, which is to say he does outrageous, ridiculous things at such a high clip that you cannot ever run out of things to talk about. He is every radio host's dream in the way I imagine Donald Trump is every radio host's dream. Like, if you do political radio, I don't know how you're not pleased with the existence of Donald Trump. Like, the existence of Donald Trump is something to talk about every single day of life. What kooky, weird, crazy thing is Donald Trump going to talk about now? The Draymond Green is the Donald Trump of sports. Because he's crazy. He's a wild card. You don't know what's going to happen next. And Draymond Green has been accused of being a knucklehead, which we will see in court whether or not Draymond Green is a knucklehead, because Draymond Green took a picture of his junk and sent it to everyone on Earth via Snapchat. Sent it to everyone on Earth via Snapchat. Now, Snapchat is not an app that I have used ever in life, mostly because I feel like that, I don't know, the app came out after I was done trying out things on social media, and I really felt too old and too curmudgeonly to really give it a shot. Never gave Snapchat a shot. However, this is my show, and that makes me the judge and the jury in the court of public opinion. So, to break down what it is that Draymond Green has done here, I'd like us to go to court, or at least have me following a bed of court music that I found, or music that sounds like court music. This is Judge Keon Rose. On trial, we have Draymond Green, a man who sent a picture of his junk to the world via the internet. Draymond Green did not check the evidence at hand. Draymond Green did not check out the fact that he is trapped on an airplane with his Team USA peers basically everyone who does what he does for a living, he's trapped on a cruise ship with them until the end of the Olympics. Draymond. And then immediately after he sent the picture, Draymond Green said he was hacked. Really? You were hacked? You and how many other people have been hacked, Draymond? I'm not buying it. And nobody bought it either. Nobody bought that from Draymond Green. Draymond Green had to admit the truth. He wasn't hacked. He took a picture of himself and accidentally hit my story. Every Snapchat user's nightmare. And to avoid embarrassment, he said he was hacked. But even more egregious is that Draymond Green took this picture of little Draymond with his teammates around. He took it on the plane, man. Bro. No, stop the music. He took the picture of his junk on the plane with everybody sleeping around him. What? Draymond. No, we can't do that, man. Everyone around you is sleeping. This is not okay. You're not allowed to do this. This is not fine. That's unacceptable behavior, Mr. Draymond Green. But I have one more piece of evidence that would make you guilty in the court of public opinion, of which I am judge and jury. Start the music. Draymond Green sending pictures of yourself on Snapchat? Really? Draymond, what happened to texting and instant messaging? I mean, at best, send an email, man. Just an attachment. It's not like you have coworkers that you can accidentally CC everyone in the office in. And if you did, the only people you'd be offending are Curry, Klay Thompson, and Steve Kerr. At best. Nope. Now there's a picture of your junk on the internet for the entire world to see. And you know what? You can't unsee it. You can't delete things from the internet. So you, Draymond Green, are guilty of grade A knuckleheadery. That's my ruling. This is Clutch with Keon Rose, and I'm going to put my courtroom robe away, my courtroom music away, till the next time. The court of public opinion, I am the judge. I mean, I don't feel like we have to go to court to establish all of these things, but you know what? We shouldn't have to teach these lessons to people via athletes doing it. But how many athletes have done this now? I mean, we saw Draymond. We've seen more of Brett Favre than we've ever wanted to see, even though Brett Favre texted that. But don't text it to somebody who doesn't want it, because they're just going to put it out on the internet along with your overly desperate sounding voicemails. And nothing shatters the illusion of the confidence of Brett Favre, a man who's being inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, quite like the fact that your desperate voicemails and your naked pictures are on the internet. It's not quite like that. LeBron James has been caught in this before, though it was during the season, and that tends to cover things up because you're more preoccupied with the actual basketball. The only thing worse than doing it during the season is doing it during the off season when we have nothing to talk about but you and your silliness. This is Clutch with Keon Rose on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. Let's talk about the Olympics some more, because I complain about the Olympics. I've basically been complaining about the Olympics on a weekly basis, but I can't help it. The Olympics are doing this to everyone by simply messing something up every week. Like, there has been the number of things that they have messed up to this point is so ridiculous that I'm starting to run out of time when I recap everything. We've gone from athletes being mugged. Just yesterday, a Chinese athlete showed up, got vomited on, and then had his luggage robbed. That was yesterday. And this is not counting the jiu-jitsu fighter that was kidnapped, the Paralympian that was kidnapped. Like, bro, they kidnapped a Paralympian. He's somebody overcoming a disability to show the world the greatness of the human spirit. You can't kidnap that person. Apparently you can, but you shouldn't kidnap that person. We've had kidnappings. We've had political unrest. We've had an infrastructure that's not well created. We have the Olympic Village with water leaking out the walls when you flush the toilet. I mean, the Olympics, every week there's a new thing to complain about. And this week, there's more complaining about the water that Olympic swimmers will be swimming in, because Olympic swimmers who will be competing in the long distance swimming events and the triathlons will be competing in the filthy, filthy rivers of Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro, by the way, means the river of January, which I think is a lie, because there is no time of the year for this river, not August, not January, not ever, because the river is filthy. It's got garbage in it. It's got human fecal matter in it. And apparently, all it takes for an Olympic swimmer, the amount of water that they would have to accidentally swallow to ensure that they have a virus, is 3 teaspoons. Now, I don't spend a ton of time in the kitchen. So I don't really know off the top of my head what 3 teaspoons is, how much of it is. But I know this. It's not a lot. 3 teaspoons, if you've ever jumped in a pool and come up from the water, you accidentally swallowed 3 teaspoons of the water right there. What you're telling me is that action right there, virus. You've got a virus. And this is the same Olympic Committee. Brazil has been telling us that we are going to be fine. We're going to be fine. The water's going to be clear. I remember last year they were saying it's going to be fine. We're going to clean it. It's going to be clear. Don't worry about it. And then they said like 3 months ago, it's going to be fine. The water's going to be clear. Don't worry about it. And I've been complaining about this since last year. This water's not going to be done, because if it's filled with human feces, how do you get all of it out? Like, how do you extract all of that out of there? I don't know. And apparently they didn't know either, because the Olympics start in 4 days. And we still have all of this in the water, and we're going to be expecting people to swim in it and compete in it. And you know what? I don't know. I mean, the most efficient way to swim is to keep your head above water. So the Olympic Committee has suggested that all swimming athletes just keep your head above water, which is fine if you're doing a short swimming event. But if you're doing a long swimming event or a triathlon, a race that takes enough time that you could be tired, I find it a little bit ridiculous, possibly just somewhat preposterous, that you would be able to just keep your head above water. Yeah, no, I will try that the next time I just finished running for several miles and riding a bike for several miles, and I'm now swimming. No, I'll just consider that. Yeah. I'll just keep my head above water. That'll be it. I mean, come on. We have the Ironman in Chattanooga every year. How many of those athletes have ever gone below the water while swimming? But you know what's not in our river here in Chattanooga? Viruses. Just kicking it. And this is, by the way, different viruses than the Zika virus that you could also contract down there, because obviously you've got just a high number of mosquitoes containing the virus just flying around. And I understand Zika's officially entered South Florida. I get it. You could get it here as well as there, but I would argue that nobody is going to South Florida right now. Zika is possibly on the verge of maybe becoming an epidemic. Possibly even a pandemic. A pandemic is basically an epidemic that spreads all over the earth. What could possibly spread something all over the earth like a bunch of mosquitoes and every nation being represented at the Olympic Games, where all of their athletes and all of the fans of those athletes show up at the Olympic Games. I mean, we should have canceled the Olympics, or at least postponed. And I know that all of my crying and my moaning and my belly aching isn't going to do anything for the Olympics now that we're 4 days away. And hey, I saw a video of somebody trying to use a metal saw on the Olympic torch, and that the Olympic torch is pretty much indestructible. I wish the Olympics were pretty much indestructible, because we are on the thinnest of ice. And it's not like we haven't learned this lesson before with Sochi. What do we have to do to get the Olympic Committee cleaned up the way that FIFA ended up getting cleaned up? And I mean tentatively cleaned up, because FIFA got raided and taken apart. But I have to see the changes that FIFA is going to make first before I believe it. Because these are the same people that gave a World Cup to Qatar. And nothing says corrupt. Nothing says corrupt quite like the Olympic Committee giving away Olympics to nations that have a lot of money in the government to bribe with, but not quite enough money on the lower level with the people to provide the infrastructure for those people to live in, to provide an infrastructure for those people to work in, where people can actually set up the Olympic Games in a way that's safe. Because this is ridiculous. You're listening to Hot 1240, Hot News Talk Radio, Clutch with Keon Rose. Joining us after the break is going to be DeMarcus Rogers, promoter for Grind Nation Promotions. I'm going to talk to him about live pro boxing that's going to be in the convention center right here in Chattanooga. Now, I was wandering around town. This interview here is a little bit of a miracle. I always keep an eye out for sports locally, and I just walked into a Waffle House. And there was a poster on the wall for live pro boxing in Chattanooga. Now, I'm a boxing fan, which is hard to be a boxing fan in this day and age, because most of my friends don't watch boxing. Most of my friends watch either the UFC or they don't watch fighting at all. I definitely can't watch any boxing with a girlfriend, because she just doesn't like the idea of people just pounding on each other, and which is fine. I personally don't get not liking it, but whatever. I saw the poster and I thought, I have to call these people. I have to check this out. I have to get them on the show, because first off, anytime you get to see quality fighting locally, that's hard to find. Secondly, it's right here in Chattanooga. And it's affordable. And look, sure, we'd all love to go out to Vegas and see Mayweather fight somebody. You know what I mean? Like see the best of the best, Provodnikov. But no, you can't afford to go to Vegas. Not everybody can afford to go to Vegas. I know I can't afford to go to Vegas. So for a guy like me that wants to watch quality fighting, keeping it homegrown and local, I really enjoy this idea. So we'll get DeMarcus's opinion on that. Manny Pacquiao, by the way, set to fight Terrence Crawford. And I am really interested in that fight. And I'm going to pick DeMarcus's brain about that, because I believe that he is a fighter as well. He's a man who's got his hand on the pulse of the city as far as athletics goes. So lots of questions coming around the corner. And of course, Lane Kiffin trolls Tennessee fans some more, because he's Lane Kiffin and he can't help himself, not one bit. You're listening to Hot 1240, Hot News Talk Radio, Clutch with Keon Rose. We're going to talk boxing and volunteers next.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds. We'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Order a 16-inch pizza at Toscano's Italian Grill and get a free 10-inch pizza. Toscano's, authentic Italian food, fresh-made ingredients and sauces. When you and your bambino sit down at Toscano Italian Grill, you're by smiling people. They make you feel like part of the family. Toscano's is easy to find. It's in the recruiting center at 153 and Lee Highway. Toscano's, scrumptious pizzas made with fresh dough, come to you bubbling hot from an authentic brick oven. Mention Hot News Talk Radio and you'll get a free 10-inch pizza when you order a 16-incher. Heaping portions, friendly, 10:30 to 10:30, 7 days a week. Toscano delivers. 805-3888. Like us on Facebook. Ask about Toscano's app. Nobody does it better. Mention Hot News Talk Radio and you'll get a free 10-inch pizza with 2 toppings when you order a 16-incher. 805-3888. Nobody does it better.
Finding just the right place to live can be a daunting task. Stop your search. In Chattanooga, the place to live is Cross Creek Villas for under $1,000 and available for immediate move-in. You can enjoy this 2-bedroom split layout, over 1,000 square feet, 9-foot ceilings, an extra-large patio or balcony. And don't forget to ask about their preferred employer program. Cross Creek Villas is a gated community offering a 24-hour fitness facility, a beautiful pool and hot tub, and Cross Creek Villas is pet-friendly. Stroll the pet park with your best friend and enjoy the free use of their business center and clubhouse. Plus, if you mention you heard this on the radio, your application fee is free. Cross Creek Villas, close to downtown off of Highway 58. Go to crosscreekchattanooga.com. That's crosscreekchattanooga.com or call 894-0446. That's 894-0446. Redefine the way you live at Cross Creek Villas. Go to crosscreekchattanooga.com or call 894-0446. Cross Creek Villas.
Becoming fair out there through the nighttime hours. Muggy overnight again, lows into the lower 70s. For Tuesday, hot and humid, but a few more widely scattered afternoon showers and storms will move in from the west. Highs of around 90. Getting hot again on Wednesday, though, with highs into the lower to middle 90s. This forecast is brought to you by the Hamilton Neurosurgery and Spine Center, now open in Calhoun, Georgia. Stop putting up with back pain. For more, their number 706-529-9041. And I'm 1412 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds. We'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update. I-75 southbound at Ottawa was blocked off after a routine checkup turned into a car chase. A suspect apparently jumped into a stolen vehicle and sped off on 75 southbound. 3 cops shot their weapons at him. He still managed to escape. 1 officer was injured when a tractor trailer hit his police car. He's expected to be okay. Eyewitnesses spotted cops on I-75 southbound with assault weapons trying to find the suspect, who is believed to have escaped into the woods. The suspect is described as a white male wearing a white T-shirt, blue jeans, tattoos on both arms. And at Lee Highway, in the same plaza as the Armed Forces Recruiting Center, a car careened through a business at 6231 Lee Highway. Police and EMS were at the scene investigating and treating the injured. Your afternoon commute's about to get longer. The Chickamauga Dam is going to be shut down from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday this week, August the 1st through August the 5th. The closure is due to a routine bridge inspection, which is required every 2 years. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update.
Hot News Talk 1240.
This is Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio, Clutch with Keon Rose. We are still trying to track down Mark. I feel bad because anytime you promise an interview anytime you promise an interview, you want to come through on that, and then you say, here's the guests, build them up, and then you try and call them, and you can't get a hold of them. That's what happens. So that sometimes happens in radio land. Nevertheless, we move forward. Lane Kiffin trolling folks. Lane Kiffin be trolling folks. Okay, here's the deal with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was on social media talking about how Tennessee is loaded with talent. Tennessee, the state, not the school. Tennessee is loaded with talent. And yet, somehow, Tennessee athletes keep leaving the state of Tennessee to play football somewhere else, which is an interesting thing for Lane Kiffin to point out, because Lane Kiffin is a man who once coached Tennessee and was so powerfully average, he got fired. Now, I understand that Lane Kiffin is not like the worst coach that Tennessee ever had. And at the beginning of the Lane Kiffin era, it wasn't the worst thing that ever happened. It looked okay. It looked fairly average. And then, Lane Kiffin went on to do Lane Kiffin things. And Lane Kiffin is an interesting guy to me, mostly because he surprises me in his ability to have fallen up from every job that he was at. It's not like Lane Kiffin left Tennessee and went to go be nobody nowhere. Lane Kiffin left Tennessee and coached the Oakland Raiders. Which, okay, let's see what's going on here. Looks like we've got DeMarcus. Hello.
Hello.
Is this DeMarcus Rogers?
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, I've been waiting for you, man.
Yeah, man. I apologize, man. I've been in the gym working out. I thought I was gonna be done by exactly 6:30, but I was a couple minutes late.
That is absolutely fine. Now, you are the promoter of Grind Nation's promotions. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, man. Hey, tell you a little bit about Grind Nation Promotions.
Absolutely.
So Grind Nation Promotions, man, we're a boxing promotion company based in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And what we do is we just try to maximize on the opportunity of making fighters champions inside and outside the ring. You know what I mean? So what we do is just promote boxing shows and promote boxing boxers in different places, and just try to get them out, man, and let the world see them, and if they're good enough, become a champion. Like I said, inside and outside the ring.
All right. I saw the poster for the pro boxing, and in the middle of the poster, there's a man who looks daunting and menacing, and also on his trunks it says Rogers. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
So you also fight and you promote?
Yes, sir.
How did you find yourself doing that?
I was
Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. I was a boxer first. I've been boxing. I was 8 years old. Turned pro when I was 20 years old, and man, I always had a dream of doing my own shows, and really just going through it in the pros, man. Seeing how people would kind of, it's a shady sport. It's a good sport, but it's a shady sport, and just seeing how people really sometimes they do you right, but you won't find a lot of people who will just do you right, man. You find a lot of people who's about themselves and about their own wealth and about their own health. You know what I mean? So for me, man, I was always the one. I wanted to start my own, and I guess about 2 years ago, I was in front of Power 94. I just got done doing an interview after introducing my book, I believe. Or no, maybe I was promoting a fight that I had in Nashville, and man, I told my friend, I was like, man, I'm gonna do my own shows one day. 2 years later, here we are.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yes, sir.
Have you found the shadiness that you've heard about in boxing? And if so, could you give me an example?
Have I found the shadiness?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I started off with it. I feel like I started my career off with shady people. I started my career off 0-1. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was a fight that I shouldn't have been in, and I feel like we was in it for they was in it for the money. And, I just started to pay attention. As my career went on, I started to pay attention, and I started to realize what managers and promoters were supposed to do versus what they was doing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that right there told me that I didn't want to be in this sport off somebody else's mouth or off somebody else's money. I want to be in this sport off of my money, my mouth. You know what I mean? So what I did was I learned the sport. I learned the sport. So going through the bad stuff and the good stuff, I learned. I fired my manager. I self-managed. I talked for myself. I learned by going through the shady stuff and fighting the wrong fight. You know what I mean? And and fighting the right fight. So I learned. I talked to people. I learned. So all these places I've been, man, I've been everywhere. I've been all around the United States. I've been in camp with some good fighters, some world champions, and I just learned. And that was my big thing for me, is always soaking in, man, being a sponge.
Wow. Who's the biggest fighter that you fought with?
With that you talking about that I've been in a fight with right now? The biggest fighter that I fought, probably my first fight, I fought Mike Reed. And Mike Reed he was 2-0 when I fought him, and he's 18-0, 19-0 now with like 12, 13 knockouts, 14 knockouts, and signed for top rank, getting ready to fight for a championship here in the next year or two. I mean, in the next year for sure, probably the next 8 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we fought to a decision. We fought to a decision in his hometown. Like, he wasn't able to knock me out or nothing like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I think, like I said, just fighting the hard fights, man, and really just being in the trenches it's been a blessing for me. At first, you look at the bad stuff, and you try to figure out why it's bad. Man, now I just find positive in anything I do, and that has blessed me to be able to, do right by fighters I work with and do right by myself. By starting my own promotion company, being my own boss, and taking fights that I should take and building myself the way I should be built.
That sounds good, man. This is Clutch with Keon Rose, Hot 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. We're talking to DeMarcus Rogers of Grind Nations Promotions. Let's talk about the actual event. What fight are you most excited for on the list of fights?
You say which fight am I most excited for? I'm always excited for my fight. I love what I do. I love to dominate. I love to get the knockout in front of Chattanooga. But it's a fight on here against a guy. It's a guy that's 9-0 against a guy that's 3-3. And man, I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to that 9-0 versus the 3-3 guy, because honestly, I think the 3-3 guy is gonna win. And that's the honest truth. I feel like the 3-3 guy has way more skill than the 9-0 guy. I feel like if he goes in there and he's composed and he fights smart and tight, I think he'll get. I really think he'll get the knockout, to be honest.
You think he's probably the hungrier fighter then?
I think he's a hungrier fighter. I know for sure he's been through more. I know he hasn't been carried. I know he's fought tough opponents. So I think he's hungry, man. Matter of fact, I know him personally. I know his story. He's been homeless. He's hungry, So I think if he comes in shape and he's ready to grind and he's ready to get the fans a show, I think he'll come out with the W, man.
What's the Chattanooga boxing scene like? Because I'm a boxing fan, and I try and keep my ear to the ground for just anything, really. And I bumped into one of your posters just hanging around. So you tell me, what is the Chattanooga boxing scene like?
Chattanooga boxing right now, man. So what we did was, I'm from Chattanooga, but I live in Nashville. All right, so I started my pro boxing career in Nashville. I've been in Nashville. I was in Nashville for like 3.5 years. I just came back in July of last year, so I've been here for about a year now. And when you think about Chattanooga boxing scene, man, you think about amateur boxing. They got one of the best amateur boxing programs in the nation here. And they just came back yesterday. Wildcat Boxing School. They just came back yesterday, and they won 2 world champions back home from the ringside world. And it's an amateur boxing scene, man. It's real big on amateur boxing. But I heard back in the day that it was real big for the pros. You know what I mean? I heard it was real big. In 1999 was the last pro fight that they had here in Chattanooga.
Oh wow!
So we kind of made history of bringing it back after 19 years, I believe, 17 years, 19 years, 17 years. We brought it back May 7th at Camp Jordan Arena. And, now, man, we trying to turn it into, we trying to bring the best pro boxing in the Southeast here to Chattanooga, Tennessee from now on.
I mean, I wish you the absolute luck with that. This is DeMarcus Rogers from Grind Nation Promotions on Clutch with Keon Rose here on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. I was looking you up, man, so I could ask you some good questions. And I was on Facebook, and I found out that you also do performance training.
Yeah, man, I got my own performance training business, Grind Nation Performance Training. Yes, sir.
What sports do you help train for?
Man, I almost touch everything, man. I've trained tennis players, golf players, football, basketball, soccer, baseball. But mostly, man, I'm a football trainer, to be honest with you. My dream is to be a strength and conditioning coach, college strength and conditioning coach. And I got a lot of football players. I got about 25 football players here right now, spread it out over like 12 schools. And I have the best 2 upcoming juniors in the city, probably in the top 10 in the state right now, upcoming juniors. So, we're just grinding, man, trying to get these guys out of here, trying to get them to college and just teach them that hard work is everything, in life, period. If you want something, you got to work for it. Nothing is given. The world owes you nothing. You know what I mean? And that's more like my mission statement, just teaching hard work, passion, and what you do. So yeah, that's what we're doing over here, man. We got a lot of athletes who really succeeding right now, who really gotten better with the time they've been training with me, and now I'm going into camp, football camp and stuff like that.
All right. I mean, wow. That's pretty impressive. So you're a busy man, is what you're telling me.
Man. Yeah, we're pretty busy. I'm pretty busy. But like I said, man, shout out. I don't credit myself, man. I thank God every day for my blessings. You know what I mean? I thank the people around me for, the people in my business for being able to take some of the slack and really helping me with it, man. So, we busy, man. We don't really. It's like we always working, man. I don't never know when we barely get to sit down, man. You know what I mean? We don't sleep, so we enjoy it though. We enjoy it. And I'm young myself. I'm only 23. So I'm 23 years old, and that's why we call it Grind Nation. That's what it's about. Grind.
Absolutely. What are some of the details for the fight? What if people want to know, how much tickets cost and where the fight is and what time?
Yeah, the fight, man. August 6th, this Saturday night, August 6th, Chattanooga Convention Center. Some people know the Chattanooga Trade and Convention Center. Chattanooga Trade and Convention Center, doors open at 6. All right, this is an event you do not want to miss. All right, we got 6 exciting fights right now. Man, tickets, $20 for general admission at the door. We're not trying to get in your pockets, man. It's cheap. 6 fights, $20 at the door. If you want ringside tickets, kind of the best seat in the house, ringside tickets, you so close you might get blood on you. You call 678-554-7697. And one of my people will get out here and meet up with you and give you those tickets. And also, we have tickets on Eventbrite.com. If you go to Eventbrite.com, look up Live Pro Boxing. We have ringside tickets on Eventbrite.com. But general admission is only at the door. Only at the door. All
right, man. Sounds good. I have a quick boxing question. I don't know how much you've been following the big fight that seems to be happening between Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. What is your opinion on that fight? Who do you think would win that fight? Who do you like in that fight?
Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna be honest. I don't go against Manny at all. I don't go against Manny unless he was fighting Floyd, which he got beat by, and this fight right here. Other than that, I'm with Manny every time. But Terrence Crawford, man, Terrence Crawford hungry. He has nothing to lose when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. He's hungry. He's willing to take risks. Manny Pacquiao's getting old, man. He's getting out of there, and I think Terrence got too much for him, man. So I'm taking Terrence Crawford all day. But you can't count Manny out, man. Manny's still a warrior. Manny still comes strong. Manny's still smart. He knows how to get in there and go to war and survive. So you can't count him out. But I'm taking Terrence Crawford, man. He's young. He's a warrior. He's hungry. He has nothing to lose. And right now, man, the momentum is with him. He's the best 135, 140-pound fighter in the world right now, and can possibly be the best 147-pound fighter next.
I mean, that's a good take, man. Wish you the best of luck coming up this weekend. DeMarcus Rogers of Grind Nation Promotions, bringing pro boxing back to Chattanooga. You can check out live pro boxing on Eventbrite. Do you have a Facebook page, and can people find you in social media?
Yes, sir. Facebook, Grind Nation Promotions. You can find Grind Nation Promotions on Facebook if you go in the search box and type that in. Also, you can find my training page at Grind Nation Performance Training. Instagram, All Business 365 for my personal page, at Grind Nation Promotions for Grind Nation Promotions page, and at Grind Nation Performance for the performance training page. And yeah, man, that's my social networks. And got any questions, man, reach out to me. Any boxers out there looking to get seen, reach out to me. But this is an event you do not want to miss. Saturday, we had over 1,000 people at our last fight. This time we're expecting more. Saturday, August 6th, Chattanooga Convention Center, man. An event you do not want to miss. Only $20 at the door for dinner admission. Make it work.
All right. That's DeMarcus All Business Rogers, Grind Nation Promotions. Hey, man, good luck to you. And I'd love to have you back on the show sometime.
Hey, thank you, man. Call me anytime, man. I'm always ready. And also, if give me a call, man. If you want to come broadcast at the fight, hey, man, we can set that up too. It'd be lovely, man.
Absolutely. We got to work it out.
Yes, sir. Just give me a call, man. Hey, thank you for having me on.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, sir.
All right. Catch you on the other side, man.
Yes, sir.
That is DeMarcus Rogers of Grind Nation Promotions on here, Hot 1240, Hot News Talk Radio Clutch with Keon Rose. I mean, what a great interview. What a great interview. We got to, find a way to talk to him after the show, see if we can get some sound from the fight, because that pro boxing coming back to Chattanooga. If you were aware of Chattanooga's amateur boxing scene, Chattanooga last summer, I believe, had some really great amateur boxing events. So I'm excited about what's coming up this weekend. I'm going to try and catch that. I think you should too. That's 678-554-7697. If you want to contact DeMarcus for some tickets, or you can get the general admission tickets at the Chattanooga Convention Center. They're $20. They're just $20, man. Good boxing. I mean, look, what do most good things cost you? Like most theater tickets to the movies cost you like $20 anyway. They're so expensive. Why not hold on to that money and go support some local fighters, some local athletes out there trying to make the city look good, bringing pro boxing back to Chattanooga. I mean, that's the most exciting thing I think I've heard this week. That's the most exciting thing I think we've heard. And I've heard a lot of exciting things because I'm trying to get some exciting guests on here. That's how we do it here. You're listening to Hot 1240, Hot News Talk Radio, Clutch with Keon Rose. Lane Kiffin, man. Lane Kiffin takes to social media, and you know what? He does a really good job of riling up the people, of just making everybody mad. And now that Lane Kiffin is with Alabama as the offensive coordinator, the perfect place to continue his storied rivalry with the Tennessee Volunteers. Because let's face it, the rivalry between Alabama and Tennessee, it ain't much of a rivalry. Bama's got your number, y'all. I mean, Bama's just got your number. Last year's game was close, but let's be clear. Alabama keeps finding ways to beat you, and you don't find very many ways to beat them. And it has been a while since the Vols have been good enough to take down the Crimson Tide. And Lane Kiffin is just poking fun at you. That's my favorite rivalry. Forget Alabama for a second. Lane Kiffin versus the Tennessee Volunteers. In fact, how many nemesises, I don't know what the word for that is. How many enemies has Tennessee made in their existence? People who've just coached for Tennessee or coached against Tennessee, and now everybody in Vol Nation hates that guy. Because Lane Kiffin is definitely one of those guys. And Lane Kiffin, by suggesting that Tennessee players, players from the state of Tennessee, don't actually want to play for the team in Tennessee. The team in Tennessee. I think it's hilarious. I think he's hilarious because Lane Kiffin, whose career arc went somehow Tennessee to the NFL, or what, Tennessee to USC. He went from a big school with a storied history to an even bigger school in one of the biggest media markets in the nation, either one or two, Los Angeles, and then went from there after underperforming to coaching the NFL with the Raiders. What kind of deal with the devil do you have to make to have a career arc like that one? The man fell up from every job he ever had. And now he's the offensive coordinator at Alabama. And not to be forgotten, Lane Kiffin is stirring the pot, making enemies out of the Vols again. So you got Kiffin. And then, of course, we have Muschamp, which you ask any Vols fan about Will Muschamp, who is now the head coach at South Carolina. Will Muschamp is just a guy that they hate. Like, the coach-team rivalries, especially with Tennessee, outside of Florida, are even better than the team rivalries. Like, Tennessee-Florida, to me, is great. That's great television. Those two schools legitimately hate each other. Now, Tennessee, they take on the composure of their coach. They take on the composure of a Butch Jones who doesn't answer any questions and basically just gives you vague, generic, cliched platitudes over and over and over again. Yeah, Tennessee players will say, it's going to be a good game, But Florida players are mad. Florida players are mad that Tennessee is somehow picked to win the East, even though last year they won it. And I understand why people would pick Tennessee to win the East, but Florida players are still mad. That's going to be a great rivalry. But even better than Tennessee-Florida this season is going to be Lane Kiffin versus Tennessee. Because if Tennessee should so happen to beat Alabama, and it's going to be one of the 4 games that they have to play in a very tough stretch of games, and it's going to be a tough one. If Tennessee should so happen to beat Alabama, Florida or Lane Kiffin on social media, he might want to hide his account. He might want to deactivate it for a few days. He's never going to hear the end of it. This is Hot News Talk Radio. Clutch with Keon Rose. Special thanks to DeMarcus Rogers for joining us from Grind Nation Promotions to promote live pro boxing in Chattanooga. Later this week, we've got some CrossFit stuff that we want to talk about. It's going to be great. Another great guest coming up tomorrow.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
With every election, the government always gets in. You're right to be angry. We have no free market, red tape everywhere, taxes crushing. There's no level playing field. Tomorrow may be a day of reckoning. But there is something you can do. It's personal safety, personal security, shooter supply and indoor range. Find the handgun or long gun suitable to you. Take a concealed carry permit class. Use Shooter's roomy indoor private shooting range. Get expert personal advice. Shooter Supply fights boldly against big boxes. It helps people understand firearms. A free republic has become a despotism. Let them choke on their swag. For us, we invest in personal safety. In the Second Amendment, fight back, shop local. The country is in a desperate situation, but you don't have to be. Shooter Supply, love your neighbor, buy local. 875-4868, 875-4868. Shooters-range.com. Shop shooters-range.com. Think about the future. What about your kids?
On your signature, you can get $150,000. Can you believe that? $150,000 on your signature. Hi, I'm Bruce Krebs with the Entrepreneur Source. There's a program right now that you can get $150,000 on your signature with no pledge of collateral or personal guarantee. Call me at 423-875-5621 to learn more. 423-875-5621. You've been thinking about starting a business? Don't do it on your own. I have a proven track record for the last 13 years, a 96% success rate. I can guide you into a franchise where you will pay yourself yourself through the startup phase with very low or little risk. Call me now. I'm Bruce Krebs at 423-875-5621. And make sure to listen to the Entrepreneur Hour every other Wednesday from 11 to 12 o'clock. Call me now, 875-5621.
You feel better outside your home or business than in? Indoor air quality is important. Mildew, mold, smoke, water, and rodent damage are prime causes of poor indoor air quality. Ducts Indoor Air Professionals, better known as Duct Busters, cleans HVAC systems using 127 definable Duct Busters steps. Let Mark Thompson address the indoor air quality at your business to help reduce employee illnesses. Prevent fires by cleaning your dryer vents. Mark and his parents, Dick and Joan Thompson, have been building our local economy and helping local people with HVAC systems 16 years. Ducts Indoor Air Professionals. Call 876-9907. 876-9907. Ducks. Call now.
Rubber's tough, but foam rubber is soft. Foam rubber is the star at Stuff It Upholstery, which uses it to revive your couch, your embarrassing easy chair, your boat seat cushions. Stuff It Foam Rubber in Hickson covers Chattanooga and surrounding areas. Don't throw out that favorite easy chair that's grown haggard and barbaric. New life for your seat cushions. Premium auto-grade rubber foam for your restaurant, church, or business. Stuff It Upholstery brings comfort and relief. Go ahead, skid away from flat, dull, and droopy cushions. Relax, restore, revive. When comfort matters, Stuff It. 4608 Hickson Pike, 877-1616. Ask for Larry. That's 877-1616. Want a new look or better mileage to your truck or 4x4 off-road vehicle? Veer off your regular path. Rumble into Diesel Off-Road Technologies in Soddy Daisy. Its mechanics and techs have 100 years combined experience making engines roar and exteriors sparkle. Lift kits, Nerf bars, roll cages, bumpers, steps, cold air intakes, all wheels, all tires. Customizing, performance tuning, repairs. Diesel Off-Road is the four-wheel specialist. Make your ATV or side-by-side safe and ready to roar. We'll get you in with no hassle. 8 bays, 8 techs, and 4 four-wheel drive specialists. Diesel Off-Road Tech does everything. DieselOffRoadTech.com. Call 805-2800. That's 805-2800. DieselOffRoadTech.com.